This is Rockslapping Champions. Player 1, playing Zagara. We have Benja. And player 2, playing Tychus. We have Gutierrez. So, let's have a look at the masteries while the players get set up. We have Zagara, who is at a level 345, using the Zagara energy regeneration. And Zagara attack damage even splits here, and I think pretty much even splits all the way through, except there's 14 and 16 here. So, you know the standard rule of co-op, go for one or the other. That is usually the better choice here. Tychus has gone for the Tychus Cherry Grenade cooldown, try Outlaw Mastery, and a Medvac cooldown. This is pretty much the picks that I go for as well. These two are like pretty much both objectively bad, so try Outlaw is ever so slightly better. The Cherry Grenade cooldown and Tychus attack speed is basically down to a matter of preference. So if you prefer to A-click your Tychus into enemy bases, the attack speed is a little bit better. But recently, I've been switching over to the Cherry Grenade cooldown as well, and I found that if you're a little bit more spammy on the abilities, it does help a lot in increasing Tychus's damage output. You can see the Tychus over here has already put down an Expo Command Center, and he will be moving that over just as soon as his outlaws are out. So pretty much early splits here. We have a bunch of lings for Zagara. Okay, so Zagara has produced a bunch of lings here to try and clear out their expansion as well, which is good. They're also going to go and try and clear their allies' expansion too. So overall, this seems to be really good from Zagara's play. We have a few overlords here. Zagara at the moment slightly supply blocked, and Tychus seems to be doing okay as well. So we just have SCVs. Zagara already putting down a lair and rushing up to that Baneling nest. So this seems to be really good. Like if you look at this is a very standard Zagara play, very decent opener. Maybe a few too many Zerglings, but not really that much of it's not an issue really for Zagara. Seems to be reasonably okay, but just you wait, because chaos will ensue. Tychus now is out, and he will be beginning to start working on this rock. And we have Crooked Sam out for Tychus, which is again a reasonable choice. You can either go for Crooked Sam or you can go for Sirius. My personal preference is to go for Sirius, and then I get the Tychus Armor Shred upgrade, and then drop the Sirius turrets, and then focus down on the train carriage that is getting hit by Tychus, and you actually get a good amount of damage. But again, Crooked Sam, not a bad choice here on this mission, because Crooked Sam does actually have a lot of damage output available. And now Zagara is out, and we see double evolution chambers out for Zagara as well. So we'll see what the plan is for Zagara's upgrade. Zagara still waiting in the main base here, and we can see that we are dealing with an air Terran composition. Very unpleasant kind of composition to deal with. It means that you are dealing with a Terran race, obviously, which means that you will be getting nuked at around the 12 to 15 minute mark. So adequate detection is important, not only to deal with the Banshees, but also to deal with the Cloaked Ghosts that will be coming up your way in the later stages of this mission. You can see that Zagara now is also upgrading for the Centrifugal Hooks upgrade. So that's going to make her Banelings move in a little bit faster, and Tychus now, with Crooked Sam, ready to deal with the first train. Zagara's expansion is pretty much, well, almost good to go. We have a couple of extractors that are not put down yet, but Zagara will be able to take that very quickly. And Zagara is basically waiting with the army a little bit on the back line here. Tychus is basically going to end up deleting this train, I think, unless Zagara is able to move in as well. But yeah, we have Crooked Sam now dropping the demolition charges, and Zagara has to be very... Oh, she's going to A-click the Banelings onto the train. One thing with Zagara that is... you have to be a little bit careful is how you utilize your Banelings. Your Banelings should be used to try and deal with the enemy units more than you are trying to deal with the train itself. So the train, you can deal damage with Zerglings right now with their Armor Shred upgrade, the Shredding Claws upgrade, and if you want, you can add a few aberrations as well for some more permanent damage. But the Banelings should usually be used only to deal with the escorts, and you can see that Tychus and Crooked Sam are already ready to try and deal with this next wave. And you can see there are a few Banshees here. Again, not really too difficult for Tychus and Crooked Sam, way more than easy. Zagara is just trailing on the back line here. And Zagara now has her lair. Still no Scourge Nest, and she is going for the Zagara upgrades, and she's also going for the armor upgrades for her units, which is, again, I think this is going to be like a staple of Rockslapping Champions, is that little card up there is going to come up and saying that the armor upgrades should be prioritized only after you've gotten the attack upgrades. A lot of people seem to be going for the armor upgrades, and again, Zagara is not a commander where the armor upgrades provide you any value. The standard rule is if the armor upgrade gives you HP, or if it's a lot cheaper, like Kerrigan, then you can go get them. But when you're dealing with, you know, an air Terran composition, and you are playing Zagara, who is primarily using Banelings to clear stuff, your armor upgrades do not provide that much value for you. So, Zagara already over here, and I guess in Crooked Sam now we'll start clearing out this high ground. So, nothing really much for Tychus to do, and Zagara has realized that her ally is pushing in, so she wants to help out as well, but only after Tychus has cleared out the entire area here. Does Tychus have medevac platforms? Yes, he has 2 medevac platforms right now, which is really good. So Tychus already is aware that he has the lack of healing, so he's taken the appropriate measures to make sure he doesn't accidentally lose his outlaws. And you can see here it's serious Crooked Sam. Tychus, very, very greedy play here from Tychus, but it pays off in the long run because it increases your damage output by an insane amount. And you can see Tychus very confident here, and he's going to be able to push through. And then Zagara basically A-clicks her Banelings right on top of the trains, and you can see the damage output from those Banelings, not really that much. It's a small amount of damage, but not as optimal as you'd want. You'd want those Banelings to be contacting these Marines and these Marauders in the back line here. And you can see now there's a frenzy, and Tychus is going to take advantage of that frenzy as well and just push through and start clearing out the rest of these enemy units in this area. Now again, okay, we have a Scourge that's now for Zagara, which is actually really good. How much Scourge does she have right now? She has no Scourge, and she is not producing any Scourge, and she's up to her Hive Tech already, which is going to be somewhat problematic because she's going to need those Scourge to deal with the ground units. Right now, her ally is able to help her out because, you know, they're both focusing down on a single train. You can see now the turrets coming down for Tychus over here, turrets also coming down for Tychus. He's well aware of the timings of these ghosts, and Zagara has no detection on this side, so you can pretty much imagine what is going to happen very, very soon. We have a bunch of aberrations now, and these aberrations are going to be really decent at dealing damage to the trains, which is very good. A few Zerglings with a Sharing Clouds upgrade is going to be also kind of important. Production-wise though, Zagara is not getting that upgrade just yet. Tychus basically just harassing Amon right now, or not Tychus, that was Zagara harassing Amon, and she's using a Roach Drop to try and deal with the small enemy camp here, which I guess is again okay, but Tychus is basically left to do the objective by himself. We're just going to be pushing through with a bunch of aberrations here. And you can see that there are Banshees here, and Zagara doesn't really have a solution to deal with these Banshees other than the hero unit herself. And this is where bad things can happen because, again, nothing on the production for Zagara. Zagara is not getting these upgrades. She's already up to her Hive Tech, and she already has access to the Sharing Claws upgrade, which is going to increase her damage output a lot, especially if she's using just a mass link competition. Like, I'll be honest, I don't even make aberrations on this map. I just go for links, and I just let the links A-click onto the train, and they just melt the train so fast, especially with new damage calculation upgrades. And you have a Tychus ally as well that really knows what they're doing, so it does make it a little bit easier. And Zagara is basically A-click the rest of her Banelings onto this train. Again, not that much damage output because the Banelings are not really well equipped for dealing with these trains by themselves. It's the Lings that actually deal with damage, and now she has just queued up the Sharing Claws upgrade onto her spawning pool, double queue up there, so it's gonna be a while before she gets the Adrenal Overload and the Sharing Claws upgrade, which her Zerglings need to be able to deal damage to the train, and the bonus objective has now spawned. And this is going to be, again, the first bonus objective on this map. Tychus, uninterested in the bonus objective, it's just going to start deleting Amon's base here. Zagara will have to try and deal with this bonus objective herself. And I don't know if she's going to have enough units out, but she did get her Adrenal Overload upgrade, so that does, or Adrenal Glance upgrade, which will allow her to at least allow her Zerglings to deal a good chunk of damage. Look, take a look at all those Banelings that have contacted the train right now. We are not dealing damage to the train. Most of that damage output is from the aberrations. And the Zerglings now have aggroed the bunker over here, and they will start to get focus fired down by the bunker. And a few more SCVs moving in to repair now. Now that the train is down, the bunker will get properly deleted by Zagara's army. And we have a random attack wave that is coming up over here, and this Viking is going to start harassing Zagara's base. So I think what happened here is Tychus was spawn camping that attack with spawn point, and that usually causes this thing to glitch up. So this Viking somewhat confused, it doesn't know what he wants to attack, and does end up going down now. Units lost so far, Tychus has lost nothing. We have 5 aberrations lost at somewhere along the lines of that mission, and 57 links. So overall, really not too bad here. And now we have the first of the double train waves, and these ones are really scary. A few secret missiles here onto basically, what is Zagara doing? Oh, Zagara wants to try and help Tychus by dropping some hunter killers here onto this random banshee that has aggroed this area here. This banshee now, oh, Zagara has actually gotten pulled back. She's F2A moving back now, and she's gonna move into this line, and there are gonna be a lot of air units, but how much Scourge does she have? She has a total of 0 Scourge, which means she is gonna be unable to deal with this massive attack wave right now. Liberator sieges up right now, and there's going to be a lot of damage output in these little circles. Zagara gets focus fired down, and the aberrations now have pretty much nothing they can do, and they decide to retreat over there. Lots of Liberator siege up zones right there, and pretty much ends up wiping out a good chunk of Zagara's army, and she's basically just going to ignore this little big scary attack wave. But here's the thing. This is an escort wave for the train, so if the train doesn't really exist anymore, this escort wave will be given an attack command towards Zagara's base. You can see there's a few more random focus fire down. This is the escort wave over here. They're going to clean up this. And where do you think they are going to go next? They are going to turn their attention towards Zagara, because Zagara's base is the nearest one here, and there we have a few secret missiles onto these overlords. Battle cruisers already ready. Few Scourge try and take out these liberators, but that is not enough. Zagara is a little bit too late here, and now there are a few more liberator siege up zones there, and these liberation zones are going to be dealing so much damage. Zagara now is going to get focus fired down by a huge chunk of banshees over there. There are like 6 banshees there, and Zagara ends up getting completely wiped. Tychus, with the help of Sears, now have decided to medevac airlift, and they will help out their flailing ally. Still, no detection on these ramps, and Zagara is playing on the edge right now because those ghosts are definitely on their way, and they will definitely making their way towards these commanders' bases. So there are bases all over this map. It's very difficult to clear this map, and Amon will rebuild his stuff too, and as soon as these ghost academies come up, Zagara is going to end up getting nuked if she does not have any detection. And now we have the Scourge upgrades, everything queued up. She's even going for the Scourge armor upgrades, which is, again, I'm not sure what is the plan here for Zagara, but Zagara is going to move in now. And Tychus has added his last outlaw. He's added Nikara into the mix. I'm assuming he's just going to go for a... Hello. Hello, nuke. So Zagara has actually not realized that there is a nuke right in the middle of her base and just decides to abandon her drones over here. And down is going to come the nuke over here, and that is a huge nuke. A total of 25 drones have died somehow. I'm not sure if they're all 25. Actually, yeah, they're all 25 drones on here, maybe? Yeah. 25 drones have died as a result of that nuke, and that ghost is just randomly trolling right now. And that ghost will actually end up getting killed off. And in the meanwhile, Zagara has ended up clearing out that side. Zagara seems unfazed at the fact that her base just got nuked, and she's put down the second Scourge nest here. She's queued up all her upgrades on her first Scourge nest and left the other Scourge nest not doing anything, which is again very interesting. And now we have a second nuke of this game. And is Zagara going to do something about this nuke? I do not know if she's going to do it. No, she is not really interested. Where is Zagara looking at? Zagara is actually looking at her base right now and decides to move out of the way. Not before that second nuke ends up contacting that base as well. That is a second nuke, and the spawning pool is sitting at 20 HP right now. Finally, there is the ghost actually ends up decloaking because he ended up using some snipes on Zagara's stuff here. And Zagara has put down now some spore crawlers to try and defend against the onslaught of nukes that are coming her way. So, Tychus, you can see this Ghost Academy here is just rebuilding another nuke. It's like, oh, Amon is like, oh, I got a good hit here. I'm just gonna try and rebuild this stuff. And Tychus will end up clearing this out with a bunch of turrets. This thing is gonna go down. But Tychus has to go and engage this next attack wave, and he's going to promptly delete this attack wave very quickly. And the combination of the Tychus Implosion Grenade, I think, whatever it is called, combined with Noctis Storm, deals so much damage. And really good for dealing with the attack wave. And now we have a double train wave again that is spawning. And what is going on here? No, there's no another nuke. Zagara has decided to remax her economy right now. Still no production onto that one gas there. Zagara wants to go and engage this train wave. But again, the train wave composition is an air terrain composition, and she is sending a bunch of aberrations, and a bunch of zerglings, and a bunch of banelings, and a Zagara to try and engage this attack wave, which is probably not too wise. She has no Scourge in her mix. She has no Scourge, but she has 2 Scourge nests that are basically queued up on all their upgrades right now. And Zagara is going to drop a Roach drop over here, and there's going to be a bunch of Secret Missiles again onto these Roaches. Raven more than happy to cast Secret Missiles here. We have a Frenzy from Zagara, but now Tychus has jumped in to help his ally, and again, lots of Banshees over here. Finally, we have a few Scourge here. These Scourge don't make it even minorly close here, and now Zagara has to go on the retreat right now. And these Banshees, again, recloak, unable, they are not going to get hit by these Scourge here. And what is Zagara going to do? All her Scourge have run out now, and these Banshees are just basically going to focus down a good chunk of her units here. And now Tychus is getting the short end of the stick as well. As a result, I think of a random hybrid, Tychus's base is going to end up getting nuked. And I don't know if anything is going to help that base. And down goes those SCVs. Tychus not very happy right now. And those Banshees are just causing so many problems. Finally, Zagara is able to lure them into the detection of the Spore Crawler. No, actually, the one thing I realized is Zagara does not have an Overseer. Why does Zagara not have an Overseer? Did she get the Nubitized Carapace upgrades? I'm actually not sure if she ended up getting the Nubitized Carapace upgrade. It doesn't show up over here. Oh no, she did get the Nubitized Carapace upgrades. So she has faster Overlords, but she hasn't made any Overseers to take advantage of that, so she does not have any detection. And now Zagara wants to deal with this bonus objective train, and I think she'll be able to deal with it. She does have a good chunk of aberrations, and there are a few Zerglings as well with the Sharing Claws upgrade, so they should be able to clear this out without too many problems. And now there's a Frenzy as well. Zagara ends up promptly deleting this next train, and Tychus on the other hand is just going to basically handle the rest of these objectives by himself. He's going to end up deleting these battle cruisers right now, and all that is left is Tychus Nox, the Salmon. The car as well, providing the temporary buff for the damage upgrade. The car actually not a bad pick right now, especially when you have a high damage upgrade here. Finally, there is some Scourge with Zagara's army, but again, there is nothing left alive because Tychus has basically killed everything. But that is the last train on this map done. Zagara ignoring a problem that ends up biting her in the butt, but those are all the trains done, and that is GG.